Good morning
and welcome to the show.
and happy hump day. It is
Happy
Wealth
Hump
Wednesday.
Day.
Who wants to be wealthy? Drop an emoji. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Wealthy. Having a great deal of money, resources, or assets.
I like that. That's a good definition.
Money, resources, which is money is a resource, or assets.
Assets. You cannot be wealthy without assets.
You cannot be money without, or you cannot be money. You cannot be wealthy without a great deal of A, money, a great deal of B, resources, and a great deal of C, assets. Assets. I want to have lots of really big assets.
Your ass is an asset.
It's the asset. It's
Absolutely.
the asset.
So, if you're just jumping on our wealth conversation and you're like, what the heck an asset is? An asset is something that makes you money. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket and into somebody else's pocket. And most likely, if you don't have full control, then it's money to things that you're not even aware about.
Oof.
And those are the worst type of things. And I actually believe that this is why most people have a hard time giving away their money. Because they feel like they're out of control, so they correlate it with being out of control.
I think they correlate it with being out of control when what?
Because for the most part, they are out of control with regards to their money.
I think people don't want to give money because they are living scarce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, scarcity. When you go to the grocery store and you find something and you're not sure if it's going to be there for much longer, so you get 30 of them. Scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
I totally used to be this way, and sometimes actually I still find myself like wanting to operate like that, and it does no good, zero good, to think in limited quantities, limited money, limited time, limited whatever. Actually, time is the only thing that's truly limited. It is one resource that we all have the same amount of.
Well, no, we don't all have the same amount of, but it is the resource that we can't reverse.
As long as we are alive, we have the same amount of time in each day.
Oh, yes. But not the same amount of time given to us.
Sure. That's accurate. That's a better way of saying that. It's the only resource that cannot be replaced.
Yes.
But when you start thinking, and we've had the conversation too, what is broke versus poor? And it's just the mindset. When you're broke, it's literally just no money. When you're poor, you'll always be poor because it's in your mind. You're living from a place of limit and scarcity.
You can have $1 million in your bank account, but be poor.
Poor as fuck. So, okay. Today's conversation though is what is financial freedom?
So before we get to it, and yeah, thank you. Find the definition of that. But I want you to take a second and think about what is financial freedom to you. And to be...
drop it in the comments.
Yeah, because to be quite honest, we did have a different topic for today. We were going to start the wealth creation series. But, we had a conversation with a couple of people, and they dropped the concept of financial freedom, and then they gave the context of it based off... Are you okay?
Okay.
Based off of the way they see it, and we're like... Okay, it seems as if
we don't know what that
your concept of financial freedom is skewed because you don't know the mechanical parts to it. So remember this, in order for you to achieve something, you have to understand the mechanical parts of it. Like, for example, let's use fitness. Let's use, the term snatch. You have to know what the term
Did
snatch
you just say
means.
snatch? What does the term snatch mean?
You
I'm gonna look it up.
You have to know what the term means before you start learning how to do it. So if you go in your head and you're like financial freedom, but you don't actually know what financial freedom means, then your approach to it is going to be wrong. So you have to be very clear about what something is in order to start applying the right approach. Are we all clear on that? Okay, let's see what they say about
I'm just over here looking up definitions.
Nobody wants to tell us what financial freedom means to them.
Okay, so I looked up snatch on a couple different dictionaries just because I myself was curious. Also, hashtag I'm 12. Okay, snatch. This has nothing to do with today's conversation, just so we're clear, because Sarit mentioned fitness reference. And I'm like,
I should have mentioned a thruster.
ooh. To quickly seize.
But Millie,
Okay.
the Merriam-Webster, she wouldn't know what the frick a snatch is. Come on.
You can make your own definition of snatch.
Oh my God.
Possibly the most visual of terms for vagina. Her snatch looked like a bear trap and felt like one too. Oh, dang. It's a slang word meaning woman's vagina, sex organ. Okay, anyways, we're way off topic, but you know what, you guys? Also, you came here to be entertained too, so let's not lie about it. But let's go back to...
But if you don't know what a snatch means, a snatch is basically when you pick up an object, be it a dumbbell, a kettlebell, a barbell, some kind of weighted object from the ground all the way to above your head in a single motion.
Like one of the most technically complicated lifts or movements in fitness, period.
Yes, it is. It is one of the elements of Olympic lifting. So like for those of you guys who like, if you ever watch the Olympics, like in the Olympic lifting part, they compete for the clean and jerk and the snatch. Okay, but you can snatch up other objects as well. Like you can snatch up a dumbbell, a kettlebell. They do the barbell because that's how you can, of course, test the greatest load possible. You can even snatch a person.
Really?
Yes.
Can you?
I can't.
Can anybody?
I'm sure so.
Like a newborn baby? I don't think that's safe.
That's not safe, but I guarantee.
What do you grab? Will you tell them to wear your overalls today, and you just fucking grab them by the? Wha!
I didn't say make that as part of your workout routine.
All right, we digress again.
Yes, but financial freedom. Think for a second. What does financial freedom mean to you?
They've had a lot of time to think, but we've distracted them, I believe. Can I just read the definition of freedom?
Yeah.
The power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or resistance. Without hindrance or resistance. Without hindrance or resistance. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people would say it's the ability to do what I want, when I want, no matter how much it costs, with whoever I want, go wherever I want. And it's this it's always followed by I want in an unlimited context. Mm-hmm. Without hindrance or resistance.
So can we...
Or restraint. Oops.
Can we all agree that the most limited amount of resource that we have this time, like we came to this planet, we're going to be here for a certain period of time, and then we're going to be gone. Can we all agree that financial freedom, the ability to from a financial standpoint to be able to, what is it?
Act, speak, or think. You can think, you can have mental freedom, which is
financially not have any restraint. Can we all agree that if we know that we are here for a limited amount of time, it only makes more sense to set goals and targets with regards to having no hindrance or restraint? Like if you knew that you had the opportunity to have no restraint at all, wouldn't you rather strive to live that way versus any other way? I don't know about you guys, and please drop it in the comments, yes or no, but all I strive to do in life is achieve freedom in any sense. Physical freedom, mental freedom, spiritual freedom, spatial freedom, and financial freedom. And the funny thing about today's society is that money is this taboo topic. However, if you don't have financial freedom, how the heck are you ever going to live a life that's whole and complete? Because if we're thinking in terms of freedom for what it is, like the ability to do whatever you want with any hindrance or restraint, but for some reason we are limited financially, then no, we don't have freedom. Do you guys get that? So I'm curious to see.
Hold on.
What?
I want to go through each of these. I started to, and I'm not sure if I
what?
interrupted you and you finished your sentence or you interrupted me.
Oh,
I'm not
sorry.
sure. But to act, speak, or think without hindrance or restraint. Okay, so let's work these backwards. To think, I believe any human being, any live human being nobody can hold them back but themselves from having thought freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are the only one in control of this. Or you're the only one who has the ability to be in control of this. Fully. I don't even know if we all will ever fully have control. But anyways, that's besides the point. Thinking doesn't cost you money. Speaking doesn't cost you money. Now, in certain parts of the world, there are severe consequences for speaking freely. Mm-hmm. If you live in America, there are not. But to act without hindrance or restraint costs money. To act without hindrance or restraint, true freedom, to act, speak, or think, all of the above, without hindrance or restraint, requires money. You want to go somewhere? Who's going to pay for the plane ticket? Who's going to pay for the gas? Who's going to pay for the food? Who's going to pay for the hotel? Who's going to pay for the adventures? Now, we're not saying you have to have those things to be happy, but to be free, fully free, and unlimited, without hindrance or restraint, you have to be financially free. You have to have wealth. You have to. Mm-hmm. You can't do shit. And let's agree that like part of life is, for one, enjoying what it all has to offer. There are so many parts of this world that people will never experience, and they'll be so limited in their thinking because they don't know what the rest of the world is like, because they can't travel there, because they don't have money to travel there. Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask. I really believe that a lot of people want to help other people. And you don't have to have money to help other people. You don't. You can help somebody with their groceries to their car. You can you can pick up garbage on the beach or the highway. There are so many things that you can help without using money. But to the degree in which you want to help will be the degree in which money is required. We want to help a lot of people. Can we help millions of people without money? Fuck no. We can't. We simply cannot, because the message cannot spread to millions of people without some kind of financial backing. We cannot give freely to hustlers who want to have an opportunity to make a difference in this world if we don't have some kind of financial backing. Grant Cardone cannot put on an event for 12,000 people without money. For those people to gather together, to network together, to change the world together without money. This is why money is important. And this is why we want all of you guys to be wealthy, so that no matter what dreams you want to fulfill, as long as well-intended, you can.
Mic drop. Yeah, and this is why these conversations are important, and this is why we have to talk about money, because if you're not talking about it, you're not being about it. And you can't win the game if you're not playing the game. But if you're not talking about the game, then you won't know how to play the game. And if you won't play the game, then you will never win the game. It's nothing but a game. There's rules to money, and by the way, schools don't teach that shit.
I learned how to write a check in school, but you can't write a check if you don't have no money.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Yeah. You gotta learn how to get that money. But here's the thing about financial freedom. So whatever is your thought about financial freedom, you guys did not answer the question, and that's okay. But I hope that you're thinking for yourself. Like when I ask you, okay, what does, I don't think so. When I ask you,
financial freedom to me means to be debt-free, extra income, and the ability to invest. Being able to pay bills, save, and spend without fear. Financial freedom, having the ability to do what I want when I want. Exactly what I said. It. Financial freedom to me would be having the funds to travel and adventure at will without concern about incoming funds and without using savings. Financial freedom.
Hold on. Can I pause you?
Yeah, you said they didn't answer.
Okay, so you did. I apologize, you guys. But something that we have to understand with regards to financial freedom, you cannot achieve financial freedom without wealth. And most of these comments, and my point is not to call you guys out, but most of these comments are so far off from what financial freedom is. And if your idea of something is skewed, then you will never be able to achieve it. And that's why we need to talk about it. And that's why when we had a couple conversations this week, and, like we heard financial freedom, and then, we were given the details from that person's idea of what financial freedom is. I'm like, that person does not have the right concept with regards to what financial freedom is. And we want you to play, we want you to win the game. Therefore, you have to know what financial freedom actually is. Because if your target is skewed, guess what? You're never going to take the right action. Go ahead.
Can I play devil's advocate, though, and say, how are they off?
So, for example... Oh, where is it?
Okay. Do you need glasses?
No.
Having the ability to do what I want when I want.
Yes, this is financial freedom.
Okay. Being able to pay bills, save and spend without fear.
Okay. Not having scarcity mindset. I will not consider that financial freedom, though.
It's a part of it.
It's a part of it, but it's not financial freedom. Freedom financially to me is free of debt.
Extra income and the ability to invest.
Okay. Yes, to some degree, but not fully. debt-free. That's not what financial freedom is. Financial freedom is not having to worry about money. True, but what does it look like?
I would say that's more mental freedom.
Exactly. And this is why we're having this conversation, is because, like, you have to think about the mindset in order to get there. I don't know if you guys ever heard about the book Think and Grow Rich, but you have to think about it before you become it. And you guys, most of you here, are thinking debt-free. And debt-free is so far off from financial freedom. And you have a skewed idea. Therefore, your targets are going to be off. And if your targets are off, your action is going to be off because you're playing the wrong game. Financial freedom does not mean debt-free whatsoever. Now, I'm not going to get too complex with you.
CJ.
Natchet, it's great to see you, because
it is sad the society has demonized wealth.
Yes.
Because then it makes it wrong.
Yes.
Is it wrong to want money? It's like being wrong to want money is like being wrong to want fucking food.
What did Gandhi say?
Gandhi?
We were listening to one of Grant Cardone's webinars the other day. Gandhi quote about
Gandhi.
poverty. But you see, you guys...
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Gandhi said, we all know who Gandhi is.
Who respects Gandhi?
One of the most generous people
who respects
who
Gandhi?
have ever lived.
Wait, before you read this, can I say something again about the demonization of wealth? Because I said it, but it was so quick, and I think it passed by. But it's important for you guys to know. Saying that having money or wanting money is bad is like saying that wanting food is bad.
It's like saying that wanting to be healthy and fit and have a ripped body is bad.
It's like saying I want to get good quality sleep is bad. It's like saying I want to have a cup of coffee. No, not even. Because I would say money is more important than a fucking cup of coffee. Because you can't get the coffee without the money, bruh. Okay, what did Gandhi say?
Gandhi said that poverty is the worst form of violence. It's true.
I remember he elaborated on it too. But I can't clearly recollect what the expansion of that was. But I remember it was bomb.com.
Yeah. If you are poor, this is going to challenge a lot of you guys. And I want you to know that I'm sending it to you with love. If you're poor here and you're financially limited, then you're committing a crime, because you can do so much better for yourself and for your family, and you're choosing not to. And you're choosing not to because you think that you can't. When you start using the word can't, everything stops. You become a criminal.
Check it out. Violence. If poverty is the worst form of violence, and violence is a behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, intended to damage, or intended to kill someone or something. So if we say poverty is a behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, harm, or damage, or kill, then it is the worst form of violence. Because there are, and I want to take a second, there are third world countries that really struggle, and I really believe that there are people in those countries actually who would fight harder for their wealth than people in America. But unfortunately, because of where they were born, it's extremely difficult for them to escape poverty. So we're not saying that poverty is 100% somebody's fault. You can be born into poverty. However, there are people with great wealth helping. Can we solve poverty without money? No. So, if we want to have an impact in these people who are at a disadvantage to escape the worst form of violence, we have to have money.
Somebody said it. I'm pretty sure it was Grant.
It is our obligation.
And This is what he said. Being born poor is not your fault. Dying poor is your fault.
Ooh. Unless you die at a dependent age, I would add.
Yes.
But let's also
God
agree
forbid.
that most people watching this are not dependents, unless your kids are watching with you.
Yes. Yes. So, like, I really wish and hope for all of you guys that you want to be wealthy as fuck. Because
Solve the world's most violent crime
otherwise
called
you're
poverty.
being selfish. If you think about the people who are most generous, actions speak louder than words. You can be generous in your heart, but if you are not helping millions of people, then you're not as generous as Bill Gates, who is helping millions of people. Like, just saying, like, your intentions can be really good. And I truly believe that most people's intentions are really good, especially if you're in our community. And especially if you're a female. Like, a lot of females are like so generous to the kids in the sense that they put themselves in the back burner. They never invest in themselves, right? But it's like, dude, you're not helping to make this world a bigger, better place. Like, if you're like, I want you to think big for a second, not think small. Because if you're limiting yourself, then you're thinking very fucking small. Because you can't even be as good of a parent for your child. Because you're limiting yourself.
CJ actually said, there is more to life than money, but there's also more than wondering how you're going to pay your bills and feed your family.
Amen.
Pick. You get to pick. Ta-da.
Much love, brother. It's really good to see you here. It's been a minute. But back to the concept of financial freedom. So a couple episodes ago, we talked about different forms of income. So there's ordinary income. Can you look up what ordinary income is real quick?
Yeah, but I also, you have these written down? What your thoughts? Because there's another concept about financial blank, not freedom, that I've thought about too, and it's financial confidence. So I had to look up the word confidence. Because financial confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on something or someone, firm trust. It is firm trust in, or the belief in reliance on, that thing's reliability. This is where passive income and investments come in. When you have a check or money being deposited into your account every single month without a doubt because of your investments, that is financial confidence. I want both, motherfucker. Okay, what am I looking up?
So there's different forms of income. There's ordinary income and there's passive income. And we did an entire episode about that, you guys. So you can please feel free to go back and check it out on our YouTube channel. By the way, if you're watching this episode on YouTube right now, then do us a huge favor and subscribe so that more people can listen to these conversations, because people are so scared to talk about money as if it's some kind of like STD.
Okay, first of all, let's define the word separately.
Okay.
Income is money that an individual or business receives, usually in exchange for goods or services, okay? Income is money that you are receiving, okay? Now, ordinary. Ordinary means with no special or distinctive features. Normal.
Ordinary income is basically money that you work for. Like, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the energy.
Nothing special about it.
Yes.
It comes in the way that most people get it.
Yes. Most people, like, if you work for your money, that is ordinary income.
Well, we all have to work for money, but if you trade your time for money, is that what you're saying? If you're trading time for money?
No, ordinary income.
But what do you mean when you say work for money?
You have to trade your time and your energy for money.
That's ordinary income. Trading time for money.
So like if you are, getting an hourly rate, if you're getting wages, if you're getting like what's it called, like salary, you know, even if you're a business owner, unless you stepped back from the business and you have like the entire team just like working in, and you're just like, you know, cruise controlling, focusing on other things, then most people in life, that's all they know. That's all they know, ordinary income. So now here's the thing. Going back to financial freedom, that is the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, with no restrictions. Now, if you are receiving money in the form of ordinary income, then you are not living a life of financial freedom, because you're trading time for money. And that is why it's important to have this conversation, because when you're saying get out of debt, that is very far off from financial freedom. You're just in a chaotic state. And my reason for wanting to have these conversations with you guys is because if you don't have the right concept, you're always going to have the wrong approach. If your approach is to get out of debt, then you're playing the wrong game, and you're playing way too fucking small, and you're very far off from financial freedom.
And our purpose of this conversation, our purpose of most conversations, I know for myself, my intention is just to change your perspective.
Same.
Because if you change your perspective, you allow yourself to think outside the box and get creative and imagine and dream and believe you're capable of more. So I'm thinking about this whole conversation, and we love to give action steps. Okay, what can you do about it? Today's very much about change your perspective and your thinking to allow yourself the mental freedom and the mind capacity to think differently, to get creative in how you're either spending your money, making your money, investing your money, so that you can change the trajectory or increase the speed of your trajectory.
So here's the thing with regards to financial freedom. In order for you to achieve financial freedom, you can only achieve it through passive income. Can you have both passive and ordinary? Absolutely. But you have to start somewhere, and we all have to start in ordinary income.
This is amazing.
You know, from becoming an employee to either being an employee in a business, and then, you know, just having a good money mindset, knowing your like having a good financial intelligence, and then, you know, racking up investments. We're going to talk about the 3-step way to investing in just a second, because I believe that your idea of that is completely skewed as well. But it's either that, or it's you like starting a business, becoming a business owner, growing your business, and have your business cash flow so that you can save up enough to start investing in things that cash flow. We had an entire episode about cash flow. Whether you're an employee, self-employed, or a business owner, rule number 1 is you gotta cash flow. If you ain't cash flow, you're losing the game. But can you start winning if right now you're not positively cash flowing? Absolutely. You need to go out there and you need to make more money. It's simple. I feel like most people, because something is difficult, they block themselves. They're like, I can't. I'm like, just because you're not there doesn't mean that you can't. So I want you to think about that. Just because you're 100 pounds overweight doesn't mean that you can't have a 6-pack. It's just going to require an extreme amount of effort and discipline for quite some time. And that's okay.
It just means you don't know how yet.
Yeah.
Well, talk to somebody who does know how.
Yeah. And by the way, the path to financial freedom takes decades. Don't you guys ever think that it's going to happen to you in a couple of months or in a year. Don't you fucking dare do that. We used to think that. We're so fucking dumb. Don't you dare fucking do that. I'll get so mad at you.
We're not dumb, and if you swear too many times, we're going to have to tell YouTube, and then it's okay. So, but what I'm saying is nothing, because Sarit's been talking. I don't know why that just came out of my mouth on autopilot. I looked up the definition of passive, just without income attached to it, just the word passive. And it means, I'm going to read the whole definition and then I'm going to put it into financial, like how it relates. accepting or allowing what happens or what others do without active response or resistance. It's completely neutral. No response or resistance. But accepting or allowing means with no effort. Okay, I accept. Like, you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to do anything to accept or just allow something to happen. And without active response or resistance, money just comes in. Oh, I accept it. I will allow it to happen. I will allow that to be deposited into my bank account without activity.
Let's talk about the concept of residual income real quick. So residual income is something that you guys should all be looking into. If you want financial freedom. Residual income is income that you have to put some work into, but then it keeps on paying you in the long term. Remaining
after the greater part or quantity has gone. Meaning the money remains coming in after the work has been done. The work doesn't have to continue being done at the same level. For example, take X Endurance. You all have heard us talk about X Endurance all the time. It is a supplement company. They went from a normal supplement company that I used to work for to a multi-level marketing company. Oh my God, I can't believe it's an MLM. I can't believe you guys do that. Guess what? They are the most superior in products out there. And if it aligns with what we do, if it helps the people we want to help, and it helps us at the same time, bada boom, bada bing, we win. But what happens is when we put in the legwork, we put in the work, guess what? Over the last few months, we've made probably like $5,000 from X Endurance.
Yep.
Because we put in a shit ton of work. But guess what? We don't have to put in the same amount of work for that money to keep coming in. And if you do it right, then everybody else doing their business the same way you are, where they hustle, and then the money comes in and it keeps coming in. That means the work you done prior, you no longer have to do. And any work that you continue to do just elevates and compounds what you receive. That's passive income, or that's residual income. You've done the work for it, and you can keep doing the work for it, but it is going to compound over time because you're going to be getting, what it is basically is you're working this much, you're getting paid this much. And what happens is, it goes like this. You start working less, but getting paid more for less work being done. I think that's the best way to describe residual income. Dang, Erin, high five me. Boom. Work, earnings. Who wants that? Sign me up.
And that's why we tell you guys all the time, like, so here's the 3-step formula to investments.
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah. You probably know it.
Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. Invest in assets.
Yeah.
Bam. Nailed it.
Don't you think about investing in stocks if you know nothing about stocks? For one, stocks are unreliable. Now, if you want to invest in investments, like, you need to have a shit ton of money racked up. Like, we're talking about like at least $500,000 to start. No. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do real estate investing with no money down.
That's not true. That's not true.
Look,
you don't have to have $500,000. You can have 20 grand. You can have 20 grand and you can buy a $100,000 house, single family home.
You can, but you need to have a long-term game. Like, a single family home is not gonna get you to be filthy rich where you have financial freedom. Like, you need a massive real estate portfolio for that, which means that you need to buy units. And that doesn't mean that you can't start it with no money down, but there is a lot of education and experience that goes into that.
But I think what is more appropriate to say is that don't invest in something you don't know about. Yes. Don't invest in something you don't have a game plan for or don't know the rules to. That's being like, I'm going to go play basketball, and you don't even know how to get points. Means the ball needs to go into the hoop. You're like, I'm going to throw it at the ref. Does that get me points? You don't know that hitting the ball with two hands is called a double dribble. And the other team gets to have the ball. Mm-hmm. You don't know that if you just hold the ball and run like it's football, that's called traveling. And the other team gets the ball. Like, you have to know the game you're playing or you will fail.
Most people don't even know what cash flow is, and then they're like, I'm gonna put down $20,000 towards a house. I'm like, you're fucking dumb, because you don't even know what cash flow is. What's gonna come in, what's gonna go out. Like, that's not gonna allow you to create.
Hold on, there's some missing pieces in there. You're right, but there's some missing pieces. Okay. And it sounds like what you're saying is like, if you invest in a property, you're dumb.
No.
What it means is you have to know the numbers. You have to know the numbers. You have to know that place is going to cash flow in the worst case scenario, so you don't lose. It's called managing risk.
Yeah. But most people try to jump over hoops, and our point for telling you guys that is to open up your mind and to give you some ease. And to tell you that it's possible, but you have to be willing to put in the work. And you have to be willing to put in the work for a long period of time. Like, most people are scared to invest in themselves, like $500 towards a program that's going to provide them education, move them forward. But then they're like, I'm doing it because, like, I want to use the money to pay for a liability called a car. I'm like, that's dumb.
Or a house
to live in. That's dumb. Because that just goes to show that you're not playing the game. And if you're not playing the game, it's because you don't know how to play the game. You have to invest in yourself, you guys. And that's why, like, when we make an offer for any program that's going to allow you to become more confident, shit, dude, that's a game changer. Because if you're not confident about saying no to a cookie or saying no to your spouse, then how the heck are you going to say no to a financial opportunity? You're going to freak the fuck out.
Did you know the word dumb means temporarily unable or unwilling to speak?
No. Huh. So...
I was thinking that it would mean like uneducated, like you're uneducated, and it's silly to not educate yourself about whatever it is that you're doing. So to invest in yourself first makes the most sense, because that allows you to be educated in how to play the game. I've got to pay somebody to teach me what I need to know. I've got to pay somebody to help me achieve X so that I can gain Y, so that I can make more money in Z. Right? And it can be in anything. Investing in yourself can never be wrong. There is zero. Ignorant is the right word. Yes, CJ. Mm-hmm. Or not naive. Ignorant is the right word. There is zero. The only way an investment in yourself would be stupid is if you didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, as if you won't use it.
But it is never wrong to invest in yourself as long as you apply. As long as you apply. Mm-hmm. So investing in yourself first, giving yourself, a lot of you have invested in yourself to change your physical shape, to change your mental state, to gain confidence. Guess what? That will make you more money. Guess what? If you invest in something that we teach, you will get more money eventually. How many of you have joined the inner circle to lose weight and ended up making more money, or winning $1,000, or having different opportunities come to you, having the confidence and the courage to ask for a raise at work, having the confidence or the courage to leave a job that you hate to go to a new job that you actually feel fulfilled in? How many of you? You didn't go into that program expecting, oh, I'm going to make more money because I lost weight. And it's pretty far-fetched for us to say that to somebody who doesn't understand. But Lauren won $1,000. Ashley won $1,000. Mel won $1,000. Tiffany has won multiple things. There are people who you would know better than I have, because I don't remember, but have like asked for raises or better positions at their job.
Or they now have like money targets where they're racking up more money and their savings so that they can use it for a bigger purpose.
Yep. Stephanie, Jerry.
Yeah.
You guys, like, it's crazy because any way that you invest in yourself, as long as you apply it with the right people, the right coaching, eventually that will translate into more money somehow.
So that's why, like, you gotta think about it, you know, within the long-term game. And this is gonna sound really harsh, but that's why a lot of times people who are overweight, they have scarcity mindset. It really is all a mindset, because I'm like, dude, if you're making rash decisions based off of how you feel right now, then there's no way in hell that you're going to be able to think big enough for a long time period in order to achieve financial freedom. Simple, full stop. Mm-hmm. Because if you're stuck in the now, then you're never going to be able to think about the future. And that is why when we tell you trust us, you have to follow through, and you have to believe, even if you don't believe in yourself right now. Because if this is not clear, because if this is not clear, because you're all wrapped up in your head with regards to, you know, having low self-confidence, not knowing what to do, just feeling bad about your body, your entire brain is going to be discombobulated all day. You will never be able to make decisions that are rational for a long enough time period, nor will you have the mental clarity to pave the path ahead. It's never about right now. It's never about right now. And you guys, for those of you guys who are in debt, consumer debt fucking sucks. And you probably got into it because you were financially uneducated.
Me.
But that doesn't mean that you can't get out of it. However, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to be wealthy, you will, once you get there, which is like 5,000 steps ahead, you'll understand that debt is a vehicle, but you have to learn how to use debt. Consumer debt is different. That's like trans fat. It's nasty. It clogs shit up. It clogs your life up. You got to get rid of it. You got to create more income. But you have to invest in yourself so that you can learn what you need to do. Otherwise, you're going to be fucking stuck.
I was thinking about something, and I also then read a comment, because you said it's not about now.
It's never about now.
But be careful, because what's the difference between staying stuck in now and living in the present? And what Sarit is saying, we believe in presence. Right? The only moment that we have is now. Will you agree? Right? So the only moment that we have is right now. So it's important to appreciate this second, the next second, the next second, the next second, because they're gone every second and you never get it back. So it is important to embrace the present and the right now. But if we're thinking about money, no money comes, oh, it's just there. Ta-da! Right? So it is equally as important to plan for an extended life, but being able to be present now and focus on what do I need to do now? Like, what actions right now, if done consistently over a long period of time, would get me to X destination?
Yeah, if you can't be present, you can't appreciate everything that's coming at you, be it your problems, be it your blessings. You can never appreciate it. And if you can't be present, then you can never think about the road ahead and make good decisions. How many of you guys, since joining the inner circle, you've noticed how much of a better decision maker you've become? Weight loss is nothing but problem solving. It is problem solving, but you have to clear your head in order to do that. And that's why, you know, you need to follow a proven system. You need to have support, and you need to have structure that works. But when you're stuck in the now, then you can never think about the long term ahead. So there's a difference between being present and being stuck in the now. Appreciate the now, but don't be stuck in the now. Most people are stuck in the now.
I think most people are actually stuck in the past.
Yes.
I believe that.
Yes.
I want to share a story and kind of our journey with how our investing in ourselves has evolved into investing in our business, which will then soon evolve into investing in assets. So if we're taking you guys on a journey, we have to have been there and done that, or we don't feel right about taking you on the journey too. And how it started with us, and the reason that I'm thinking about sharing this journey is because I remember our media team made a clip. If you guys haven't noticed, by the way, on Instagram, like little short clips of these videos get cut up and put onto Instagram, and it's amazing. And so if you don't follow us, go at Erin Sarit, Instagram, follow, boom. It's awesome. Anyways, there was a clip that was chopped up that mentioned how we had paid $10,000 each for a diamond seat at the 2021 Growth Conference. And somebody made a comment that said, I would never pay $10,000 for any kind of ticket or whatever. And I immediately thought to myself, that's why you'll never have wealth. Because your mindset is messed up. If you do not invest in yourself, then you will not expand. You will not get further. So did we start with investing that much in ourselves and our own personal growth and development? No. Was that even for our own personal growth and development? I think it was actually more to just be around the right people. But here's how it started. Little courses, books, $12 for a book. Read the book, apply it. You know, small courses. Then we ended up paying, what was it, like $1,000 for a mentorship? No, not yet. Oh yeah, we actually we invested in a coach and we paid them $1,000 a month. Then we invested in another coach and we were paying them a little bit more. Then we invested in various programs, a mentorship that was like $1,000, and then we invested in tickets to what was the next one? Oh, then it was $25,000 actually of money that we didn't currently have at the moment, but we were able to make payments, but we were like, shit, how are we going to get the next amount of money? And we had to hustle for it, but burning the ships, committing, and then figuring it out. We were like, okay, we're committing to pay $25,000 for this opportunity. And we had the first like 8,000 or something like that. And we're like, okay, well, we have to make this $7,000 payment and this, what was it? Another 7,000, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. I don't know, whatever it was. Who cares? But then now we have the ability to, and I don't share these numbers to say like, oh, we're cool. Really what I share is the journey. We didn't start where we are. And it's not about how cool you are because of how much money you have. It's about what you're able to do with that money. And to prove to you guys that we're not just like talking out of our asses. We've experienced this. We've made the sacrifices. We've hustled our asses off for over 2.5 years now. And finally, we're getting to the point where we feel like there's any kind of momentum that's building and compounding. And we're grateful for every single one of you guys being here and wanting to learn, because for one, as we speak and as we share, we learn too. And you know, you end up building. You don't start there, but like some of you invested, you know, the inner circle, it's not a secret what the price is. I did a whole video on it. And the price has actually gone up since. So it's like to understand that you don't have to, don't get defeated or discouraged if you're like, oh, I don't have $10,000. That's okay.
We didn't either.
But you have to believe that you will, and you have to be committed to it, and you start small.
And I want to add something from our own experience. What we have found out is that the more you invest in yourself, the better results you get and the faster they come at you. Because the more you invest, for one, that probably means that you're getting access to somebody who can really fucking help you. And also, the more you invest, the more you pay attention when that person speaks, and therefore you apply. And that is
that's
what
good.
compounds to be speed. Everybody wants fast results. Guess what? You want fast results?
Get with the people who can give them to you.
Get with the right people and do everything that you can in order to be as close to them as possible. That's why we're gonna move to Florida, you guys.
It simply pays to be around the right people. And the reason that we paid for those diamond seats to the growth conference next year is because that means we literally have a front row seat right in front of the stage. And what that means is that all of the other people surrounding us are people that paid the same amount of money. When you ask, like, when you do business, somebody has your money. Get around the people that have money. I'm going to pay, because we can now, I'm going to pay to sit. I'm going to do whatever I can to be around those people. I want Grant Cardone to see us sitting in the front seat and be like, those people are invested in me. Guess who he wants to talk to? Guess who the people of influence want to talk to? The people who are invested in them. Because it's a symbol of seriousness.
Yeah.
I'm so serious that I'm going to make the sacrifice of X amount of dollars or time or hustle or whatever to be around you so that I can achieve growth to the capacity I want and I know I'm capable of.
Money is a manifestation of energy, and money is a symbol of seriousness. Actions always speak louder than words. When it comes to your road to financial freedom, for one, you gotta have confidence. If you don't have confidence, you're always gonna be fucking stuck, because this is not gonna be able to see possibilities. Possibilities is what you create. Again, you can't be born poor. That is not your fault. Most of us are, by the way. Most of us are born poor. If your mom told you, like, anything or along the lines of money doesn't grow on trees. If you got like leftover clothes, if you got leftover clothes from your bigger siblings, or if at the dinner table you were told like finish your food because that's not passed out, that scarcity mindset, you were born poor. And most people like to call it middle class. Middle class is poor.
Or cutting coupons. I love you, Mom. If you ever see this, she's like, I watched your Q&A, and I'm like, oh gosh. But you know what? Like, and to all due respect, like, my mom also grew up with parents who, like, my grandpa served in World War II. So, and during the Great Depression. Talk about scarcity in the entire environment. Right now, our whole world is scarce. When we ran out of damn toilet paper, people were like, oh my God.
People were focused on buying toilet paper more than how can we help more people so we can make more money.
So that's the scarcity mindset. And sadly, most people, like my mom, don't even know. That's just all they know.
You don't know what you don't know. Right.
That's all they know. And I've talked about my mom saving Ziploc bags until they get holes in them.
Yeah.
But it's what she saw. That was her environment growing up. And so it gets passed down to us. So growing up or being born poor is not your fault. Being born middle class with a poor mindset is not your fault. But dying that way is.
Exactly. So invest your time and your energy. And
coupons are not free money. You know why? Because you have to take time to cut that shit out. Mm-hmm. You got to take time. My mom would flip through
to search.
Oh, and then you know what? You probably end up buying shit you weren't going to buy anyways, which is the point of the coupon. So are you really saving money? Because if you were going to the grocery store to buy one candy bar, but you saw that they were buy 4, get 1 free, then you bought 4 candy bars and you had intended on buying 1. You actually spent more money. Boom.
Scarcity mindset. So invest your time and your energy in yourself. And you got to take it one step at a time. Figure this out so that you can think bigger. And when you think bigger, then start thinking big. Start playing the money game. For all you inner circle people, you know what I meditated on this morning? For the ones who finished their first year and are in a great physical shape, do you think I'm gonna give you like private financial mentorship? Absolutely. Because you now have to start thinking bigger. You didn't come here to get a good body and then just fucking stop. Now you gotta play the real life game. So, give me 1 second. Zoe.
What's happening?
So,
Zoe wanted to join.
So invest your time and your energy. You guys all have an opportunity for the free 14-day Rise Above program. If you know that you want to be in a better physical shape so that you can feel more confident about making decisions, start there. Finish up the 14 days and then invest in yourself. Depending on how serious you are about your goals, remember this. The more resources you invest in yourself, the better results you're going to get and the faster they're going to come at you.
But he wanted to tell you he was just sniffing Zoe's asset.
Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. By the way, you are a business.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Whether you work for somebody or not, you are a business. You are your own brand. Represent yourself, yo. The more value you add to, let's say, your employer or whatever, the more money you're gonna make. You are a business. Whether you're under a W-4 or a 1099, you are a business.
Most people...
And go ahead.
Most people who work for somebody else, though, they rely on the business to give them money rather than saying, how can I bring business in to make myself more money? Because if the business makes more money and I'm helping them to do that, you are an asset and they should pay you more.
Yeah.
And if they don't pay you more, your ass gonna leave because you can go do it for somebody else who will pay you more. Mm-hmm. You are your business.
So you are your business. Invest in yourself first, so that you can so that you can be the best at whatever it is that you're doing. I don't care if you're delivering mail. I don't care if you want to change the world. I don't care if you want to cure cancer. Be the best at what you do. You're a business. Invest in yourself first so that you can think clear, so that you can become that. Then invest in your business, whether be it courses, be it whatever.
Programs, internships is an investment of time.
Yes, somebody was asking about an apprenticeship. That is an investment. You're investing your time, and it's going to help you to gain more skills. Are these skills going to help you make more money whether you stay with that company or not? Absolutely.
Coach Lauren interned with us. She invested
for
her
12
time.
weeks.
She invested
Every
her time.
coach interns with us before they start getting paid.
And now, boom.
Yeah.
Dollar bill, yeah.
Now she's making more money than she did at the other place, and she's feeling fulfilled.
And she's doing it from home, and she can semi-make her own schedule, and she's doing what she loves, and she's happy. You cannot replace that. Nothing can buy that.
Invest in your business, okay? Be it learning skills that you have, courses, getting in front of certain people, going to conferences. These are all investments. Anytime you make an investment, you're not going to see the money come back immediately, but it's going to come tenfold depending on your intention with regards to that. Most people go to conferences saying, oh, my work said I have to go to this conference. No, think about the long-term game. What skills is it going to help me with, and what can I do with that?
Yeah, if your
return?
work paid for it, oh my gosh, stop complaining.
Right.
Yeah, but investment means pay now, get later.
Yeah.
Pay now, play later. Whether that's paying with your time or paying with your money, play later.
And if you play the game well enough, long enough, then you will be one of the lucky few who will get to have financial freedom, because you will get to invest in investment vehicles. Mm-hmm. But that is something that you will have to learn too. So you have to think about it one step at a time. Don't go from A to Z in one step. And that is one of the biggest misconceptions with the weight loss industry. You want to lose 100 pounds? Yes, you got to have the big vision. You got to think of the impossible, but you only have to think about what do you have to do today in order to drop the next pound. That's it. It's a long-term game. And by the way, that's why people who master their bodies become epic at creating for themselves opportunities to become wealthy, because they realize that anything is possible. I realize that anything is possible. Having the genetics that I have, having the background that I have, having the past of disordered eating patterns that I have. Once I was able to get into a good place with my body, to change my body, what happened is that I realized that anything is possible. How come a fat girl went from being fat and being made fun of to having a six-pack, 365 for almost 10 years straight? Anything is possible. So when I left my job, I was at the Harvard of Fitness, Equinox, for a couple of years. The amount of sacrifices that I made for years for that place, insane. When I told them that I'm leaving, they treated me like fucking trash. They had to escort me out the door. You'd think that I committed a crime, because all my clients loved me and they wanted to stay with me. However, that is not the case. I'm like, I need to learn all the skills that I can, because I know that I have an idea that's going to change the world. I told people what we're going to do. We knocked on gym's doors, disregarded us. We're like, we don't fucking care. We don't fucking care. We don't.
Nobody actually, so many didn't even respond. Like, just ignored. Now people are reaching out.
Yep.
You have to be the one to believe in you before everybody else will.
But if you can't say no to a cookie, there's no way in hell you're going to see an opportunity when it comes at you.
The concepts are parallel.
Yeah.
They run the same line. Just two different whatchamacallits. One's fitness, one's business. But it's the same parallel, like, concepts.
So look, we have a really big mission and we want to help a lot of people. And we know that we're going up, we're feeling it. And really, our intention is to pull you up with us. We've been on this conversation with you for over an hour. Our time is so valuable to us. But the reason why we do this is because you're so valuable to us. We want you to come up with us. Whether you do or whether you don't is up to you. It's your choices. Just remember that. If you're currently limited financially, know that you can get yourself out of there, but you have to open up your mind. And I also challenge you to take up opportunities when we offer them to you. It's not for us. It's for you guys. And anybody.
It's for the mission, and you're the mission.
Yeah, you're the mission. Anybody who has made an investment with us will tell you that what we charge is actually 10 times fold. However, this is not a sales call. This is just a passion call. We know that we have the answer, and we know that we're going to help so many people in so many ways. You have to take action. And
Repeatedly.
Sometimes, even if you are in a position where you don't believe in yourself, a lot of people don't believe in themselves yet. That is why you have to surround yourself with other people who can believe in you before they believed in themselves. How many of you guys, and I'm not saying this to brag, have said, thank you for believing in me? I'm like, dude, I have to. I have to believe in you before you believe in you.
We do believe in you, and it's our job to show you how you can believe in you.
Yeah.
By getting you wins. By getting you small victories first, and then compounding those victories and those successes. Then you start to believe in yourself. That's all it takes. But everybody thinks, oh, I got to jump to the top of the staircase.
No, you got to take one step at a time.
All right.
That's
I'm
it.
done.
Yeah, we're done.
That was a long one today. I think I got sweaty. Are my armpit? Ooh!
Wow.
Dang.
Well,
Also, there's a heater right behind us, and I left that thing on for way too long.
did you guys enjoy today's do us a huge favor. If you learned at least one thing from today's conversation, then please share it with somebody else. Somebody that you want to be held accountable by.
That's all we ask, is that you share the love. Subscribe, follow, whatever.
Leave a comment, leave a review. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about relationship stuff. And then on Friday we have a very special guest. But in the meantime, we hope that you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself. And also thank you for supporting the mission by helping to spread the love.
Amen.
We really appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. And we will catch you on the flip side tomorrow.
Bye.